Hello, I'm ABX and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel. I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across my channel. These tend to be mostly based around the next update coming out for Minecraft across all the platforms, which is currently called the Update Aquatic 1.3, 1.13, or TU65, whatever you want to call it. The next update, I wanted to talk about that and answer your questions about it in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy. You can like this video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do enjoy Q&A Saturday, and leave a comment down below if you have a question for next week, because all of these questions were picked from last week's comments, and of course from a Twitter question I do once a week where I ask what people want to ask for Q&A Saturday. So with that said, let's jump straight into the first question, which comes in from Pixel Dino, who says, Q&A, Toycat, do you think that Minecraft will ever add any more big structures like the wooden mansions? So yeah, it seems kind of weird that going from 1.4 all the way up to 1.12, you can see them the way structures get bigger and bigger and bigger. Think about the jungle temple to the desert temple, into the ocean monument, into the wooden mansion. There's a clear size up every single time, but I think one of the things they're not going to do is focus on making huge structures like that anymore, because although the ocean monument is great, the wooden mansion, despite having all the content in the game, it's a really fun thing the first time you do it, but because it's rare, it's not really, again, it doesn't come up that often in survival, and it's not that great an addition to the game, despite taking almost an entire update to itself. So based on the update Aquatic, where you can see in 1.13, we've already seen shipwrecks, we've already seen ocean ruins, we've got treasure chests, we've got all these other things coming, we've got like 4 different unique types of structures, plus, you know, extra biomes and rare stuff like that. I think they're going to focus more on smaller things for the future, because like they said before, they're going to focus on making each biome feel more special, feel more varied, and the best way to do that is not just have one super rare structure, like, you know, when you go to the jungle, you find jungle temples, but you're not excited to find them. But if there was 4 or 5 things in the jungle you could find, and you accidentally found one of the other ones, I feel like that's a much better way to do game design, and that's why you won't expect to see a wooden mansion v2, you know, don't expect to see like, oh, this is a forest mansion, or this is a desert mansion. I think instead expect to see lots of smaller structures come out, because they clearly have a better reaction. I love shipwrecks, I love underwater ruins, and the wooden mansion, like, every time I see one, I'm like, oh, that's like a whole ordeal to go through. So maybe that's just my opinion, but that's why you can't expect to see wooden mansions, because the clear trend is towards more smaller structures, and I kind of like that personally. So let's move on to the second question, which comes in from Dylan Clark, who says, will you release a world download of your Let's Play world when you transferred it to the Bedrock edition of Minecraft? So yeah, I'm doing the transfer to the Bedrock edition very soon, actually. I don't know exactly when, but like as soon as the updates have come out, and it will let me transfer my world, I can now do it. I do believe it does convert, which is exciting news by itself. But let's talk about the fact that, yeah, when it comes to Bedrock, will I put it somewhere? And the simple answer to that question is, if I can set up like the realm thing, so I can send it to my PC, then get a world download, I will do it. And in fact, I think I'll make a commitment now. At some point after I transfer it, if I transfer it, I'll put the world out for download, because so many people want to download my world, and since I haven't been able to put it out since it was on the 360 back in like episode 100 or 200, I think it would be kind of fun to put out a world download for my Let's Play world, you know, given that we've had like 100 something episodes since then. So yeah, there will be a world download, and I'm pretty excited to share that with you all, because honestly, the people who are fans of the Let's Play world seem to really love the world, and I know it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I like people going to check out my world, so I'll totally do that as soon as the world transfers, which is probably going to be fairly soon, and then like a little bit after to get it transferred onto the PC and make sure it works and stuff. But yeah, you can expect to see that, Dylan Clark. But let's move on to the third question, which comes in from Zippy Dafish, who says, Q&A, what happened to the text changes that were going to be a part of Minecraft? YouTube's talked about it for a short time, and then I haven't seen anything else. So again, if you've watched all the saga of Minecraft new texture videos, then you kind of know that like they focused on the new textures for a big time, because Jasper was working on in fact, Jasper's been working on new textures all year, and you know, the first part of the year, he was the only person sharing new info, so that was the big thing happening in Minecraft. But the truth is, Jasper's still working on new textures, but not new textures for old blocks. So you know how there's new water in Minecraft? I believe that was done by Jasper. You know how you know, all these new blocks in Minecraft, like the heart of the sea, like the you know, the strip wood, all of these new textures are being made by Jasper, and the reason for that is because obviously there's no point releasing textures then changing them just the next update. So all the stuff released in the update Aquatic is going to have the new textures built in, and then he's going to go back, finish off the old textures, and then like 1.14, we're going to see that come back. So the reason we haven't spoken about it is because all the textures we're seeing from Jasper are ones we didn't see an old version of. Like, you know, they're not new textures, they're just textures, but then when he goes back and finishes the rest, you'll probably see a bunch more stuff, because Minecraft is going to change how it looks forever. It's going to be a big deal, but we just don't have to worry about it right now because of how busy the update Aquatic is keeping the texture artists. So yeah, let's move on to the fourth question, which comes in from the Dead Channel, who says, how likely do you think it is for the update Aquatic to come to Minecraft Xbox One edition as a percentage? My friend is really worried it won't come, but I think it you probably listen if you say it. So I want to get this one out of the way, because again, right now I'm being very clear that like we don't know with 100% certainty if this is coming out for those platforms. We know, I would say it's like 98% certain at this point, because 4J traditionally works on everything that comes from the other platforms, and you know, 4J traditionally is not going to announce something until about a month or two before it comes out. However, again, we're in this weird phase right now in that that post-Bedrock phase where the console editions, again, they're not a priority. They want to really focus on the Xbox One Bedrock over the Xbox One edition. And again, you might say, well, that's kind of evil, but honestly, it's not. It's like, they're going to focus on the game they produce as the overarching company, the one they have the big interest in, and then the edition is kind of like the secondary thing. So they're not focusing too much effort on it. Like, they're focusing all the press releases on the Bedrock and the Java, and that just means we have to kind of wait and see. The answer is 98% chance that it's coming in some form, because 4J is always working on, like bringing Java features, and 4J doesn't announce stuff until a month or two before it comes out. But this could be the magic time where stuff changes, and that's why I'm clearly saying 98%. We don't know until someone confirms it, because again, making assumptions is great, and again, I would say 98%. But if you want to be 100%, we can't say that right now. But yeah, don't be worried about it for the console edition as a whole, and for the Xbox One edition in particular, because he's worried about that one. I would say we're in this weird phase where like they're deliberately not saying what they want to say, which tells me either they're releasing the update and they want to keep it a secret so that you maybe switch over to Bedrock because it comes out there a day early or something, or maybe they are cancelling it and they don't want the negative PR. They're just going to not say anything, because remember, they made all those statements about how like, oh, they're not going to do it, and then they just retracted them, which makes me think that they're still doing it potentially, but they just don't want to say. Again, we don't know the exact Xbox One situation, besides like that's more 50-50, and the console editions as a whole is more like 98/99%. Hopefully that helps you understand, and if you didn't understand what I just spoke about, let's move on to the fifth question, which will make sense, because RoOJK, what the heck, what is this question? 45 Raster says, when will we be able to use structure blocks? So structure blocks are a really cool Minecraft PC block that don't properly work on Minecraft Bedrock, and they're not even in Minecraft Xbox One. So what's the deal with that? When will they be coming? When will we be able to, do your copy pasting in Minecraft? And the answer to this question is probably sometime soon. So the big reason we haven't seen a lot of like features like copy paste in Minecraft and more amazing big scale tools is because Jeb doesn't feel like Minecraft is an editor or whatever. It's meant to just be the game that you can build stuff in. So the structure block being on the Java version, however, put in there by Jeb, and then Jeb made the Woolen Mansion using structure blocks. It makes me believe that structure blocks, given that they're already there, will get the functionality at some point soon. It's just like barriers and stuff like that for Minecraft Bedrock. It's not like the highest priority because they have to worry about so many other things. But yeah, I'd have to imagine structure blocks for Minecraft Bedrock coming fairly soon. And once they come to Minecraft Bedrock, there's a fairly decent chance they'll come to Minecraft Console, because Minecraft Console follows Bedrock, and Minecraft Bedrock has to take the feature from PC. It's a very confusing system, but structure blocks do exist. They just only work on the Windows 10, where they allow you to export your world. I imagine they'll allow it so that on other platforms, and then maybe give it a second block for that, they'll make some magic where you can indeed do your copy pasting, move stuff around, and that's pretty exciting too. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from the Blue King. He's a king, he's blue, everyone's favorite two things together, and he says, Q&A, what do you think in the future all games will have microtransactions? And I actually think like the sad truth of this is yes, because the thing is that most people are used to playing mobile games, like as time goes on, more and more people were young people at one point that got into gaming with mobile games, where microtransactions are just an accepted fact of life, because they're accepted on the Android and the iOS stores, which are the biggest sources of games for most people. Then they become, a big thing on the consoles and the PC games, and people get upset about them a little bit sometimes if they're really egregious, but at some point it just becomes accepted that like, oh, there's gonna be some way to get microtransactions. Like Far Cry 5, it has microtransactions. They're kind of hidden, they don't advertise them, and you're like, oh, I can buy stuff with real money? That's kind of odd. And yeah, it just makes you realize that I guess more and more games are going microtransactions, and I really don't like that, because it plays, the incentive of the company is not to make a good game anymore, to take your time. Instead, they want your money. They don't want your time, they want your money instead. They'll waste your time so they can get your money instead of that. And yeah, I really don't like the incentive system, but again, as long as it's done in some good ways, I guess it's not so evil. But it just means that like going forwards, I feel like games might have a slight quality downgrade, because developers want to make good games, we want to play good games, but the company behind the developer, the publisher, they want to have a game which is more likely to be profitable, and you can do that by having microtransactions. And the way to make people buy microtransactions is you have to alter the game in some way to make it a little bit worse, unless you pay some money. So yeah, I feel like more games are going to have microtransactions. I feel like Minecraft, as far as on the actual scale of it, like I don't like microtransactions, I'm very against them, I'd be so happy if they removed them, but on the scale of microtransactions, it's really easy because it's entirely avoidable content. It's entirely avoidable content that gives money to like map makers, so it allows people to do that full time. It's like one of those things where like, as far as microtransactions go, I hate them as a whole, but I feel like Minecraft does them better, and once all games have them, Minecraft will be the best game of microtransactions. So again, kind of torn on the whole thing, but there's my true point about the whole games industry, and about Minecraft too, because we're playing Minecraft in the background, it makes sense that we'll talk about that. So yeah, let's move to the next question, which comes in from M. Locke, who says, what are your predictions for faraway updates for Minecraft, i.e. 1.20, 1.30, and 2.0 if they'll come? So I will make a few predictions here, because I'd make a video, but like these aren't fleshed out enough, they're just like things I've been thinking lately. But first of all, 1.14 or 1.15, I'm sure the desert update is a thing that makes sense because, you know, deserts right now, they are not really quite as deserty as they could be. You know, something like a sandstorm, that'd be pretty nice. You know, could play Darude Sandstorm while you do it. There we go. Boom. Great idea, Minecraft. But no, I think we'll see a desert update come fairly soon. I think a savannah update is another logical one because of the same, like, kind of dry reasons. And also because there's so many animals you could add to Minecraft and put in the savannah biome. And given that, you know, now that the Minecraft team appreciates, they're like, oh, people love Minecraft mobs a lot more than anything else. You could add, like, 5 Minecraft mobs in a savannah update, and people would just be happy with, like, oh, elephants and giraffes in Minecraft. So, yeah, I'm going to make a prediction that we'll see a savannah update and a desert update in the next few updates. And I'll also make the prediction that 2.0 is going to come in the next 2 or 3 years, probably in the next year or so, because they're going to have to do something to push it forward to 2.0. They want to, you know, really push Minecraft forward as a game, and the way they'll do that is they'll probably, like, integrate it with Bedrock in some way and make it, again, I feel like Minecraft is growing so huge that they're going to want to have some way to rebrand the game kind of publicly as, like, Minecraft 2.0, bigger, better, and huger than ever before. Maybe Super Graphics makes sense of that. Maybe they're going to redo the, you know, they said they're redoing the graphics pipeline. Maybe that's a big part of it. I don't know for sure, but I think 2.0 is coming sooner than we would figure. I don't think we will get to 1.20. I think before 1.20, we'll see 2.0 happen. But let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Suzuki Rat, who says, Q&A, do you ever regret being opinionated, brackets honest, and losing some of your 4J invites? So, I actually didn't, I don't think I ever lost a 4J invite because I wasn't, like, honest about something. Like, I'm fairly certain that I lost out on the whole, you know, Minecraft event invite, like, they do YouTuber events, and, you know, I also, like, they don't send any of the, like, regular gift baskets or whatever. Like, if you follow other YouTubers, you'll see, like, oh, Minecraft just sent me a bunch of this stuff, like, again, because they used to send them before the Bedrock version came out. I used to get, like, you know, some random Minecraft Lego toys, and I was like, oh, that's a really nice thing of them. But obviously, after Minecraft Bedrock came out, and I was honest about what I thought about it, you know, that sort of stuff stops happening, and also, like, it's a little bit harder to communicate with them and such. So, yeah, what do I regret that? Is the simple question. Like, do I wish that I hadn't done it? And sometimes I do, you know, like, oh, it would be nice if I got flown out to Sweden every now and then. It would be nice to actually, you know, meet the developers, speak to them like that. But I feel like, you know, the price of losing, you know, the ability to be honest on YouTube is not quite worth it for me. Because, okay, so first of all, I think I was one of the only channels, you know, myself, maybe Stampy on Twitter sometimes, but I was like one of the few people who was just honest, like, look, this isn't as good as the old version. It shouldn't replace that one yet. And, you know, after I said that, there was obviously like, whoa, why are you saying this isn't as good as whatever? But I feel like, you know, just being honest that, like, it doesn't work on the controller as well. Like, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. All the key features that I play Minecraft for aren't on this version. And, yeah, I feel like, you know, the ability to be honest about that, the fact that, you know, the developers listened to that and said, oh, yeah, a lot of people feel the same way. Because, you know, when I made the videos, a lot of people said, yeah, actually, that's what I've been thinking, but no one's been saying it. I feel like the fact that it changed their minds so they'll focus more on controller support, because they made controller support much better in Minecraft Bedrock now. They'll change their mind stuff like, oh, yeah, we should make the inventory much better. I feel like all these little tiny changes they made are an important part of, like, realizing that not everyone loves Minecraft Bedrock as it is right now. Most console players, in fact, see it as, like, Minecraft Pocket Edition on the console, and I think, you know, just by being a vocal, you know, like, again, one of the few people on YouTube that only plays Minecraft console, I could actually try and make some change, and I feel like that was worth it in my opinion. Like, even the opportunity to try and do something different was worth, you know, the potential risks of it, and, again, even though sometimes I regret it, I feel like the changes that were made, I think the positive impact it made in the game is much better than the, you know, the negative impact it has on me personally, because, again, I feel like, you know, as a YouTuber who focuses on, like, helping people know about Minecraft, you know, news and stuff like that, help people know about, you know, what's going on with the game, help people know about, you know, the game in general. I do lots of tutorials. I feel like as someone like that, it's just kind of important that I at least tried something, and, yeah, I guess the consequences suck, but it was probably worth it in the end, in my opinion, because, you know, if you don't believe in something, then what do you believe in? That doesn't make any sense, but, yeah, that's kind of my feelings on it, and, I hope you all enjoyed this week's Q&A Saturday. You can like it if you did like it, because it helps out the channel. Let's know you do like these sorts of videos, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make Q&A Saturdays every single week on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. There's going to be a new beta coming out this week, so if you want to ask questions about that, come back here after beta, but if you have any questions about Minecraft, life, the world in general, leave them in the comment sections down below, because I scroll through pretty much every single comment, and that's where I pick the comments for these Q&A Saturday videos from, so if you want to ask one, leave it down below, and I guess I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.